my goodness.
He beat him up.
He beat him up and he submitted him.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Stop.
Set up the headshot.
This guy's fist is like a stick of dynamite wrapped in a glove. He's got lightning fast hands and knockout power that make Mike Tyson jealous. After all, they call him El Matador for a reason.
Jai Herbert was out cold before he hit the canvas.
With just 7 fights in the UFC, Ilia Topuria became a UFC champion. Get ready for the exciting story of how the explosive Spaniard became an undefeated killer, destroying everyone in front of him. No more dilly-dally. Let's go.
There it is. Nice.
Just 2 months after his UFC debut, Topuria was back in the octagon, this time facing Damon Jackson. Now, Jackson was no pushover. With 18 wins to his name and more submissions than a high school essay contest, he was supposed to be a stern test for the young Georgian, but the test lasted exactly 2 minutes and 38 seconds. From the opening exchange, it was clear Topuria wasn't here to play around. He stalked Jackson around the octagon, his right hand cocked and loaded like a cannon. Jackson, to his credit, tried to establish his jab, but it was like trying to hold back a tidal wave with a paper towel. Topuria's first right uppercut landed perfectly, connecting with it his left hand that landed like a thunderbolt in the ribs of Jackson, sending him stumbling back. It was clear that Jackson was hurt. This shot to the rib caused a lot of damage, but Topuria wasn't content with just hurting his opponent. Nah, he wanted to make a statement. As Jackson tried to recover, Topuria unleashed a combination that would make even the most hardened boxing coaches weep with joy. A left hook to the body, followed by a right hand upstairs that could have ended small wars. Jackson crumbled to the canvas, his consciousness taking a brief vacation to another dimension. The final right hand blow crumbled Jackson, sending him into a deep sleep. With the killer instinct of a shark smelling blood, he pounced on his fallen foe, unleashing a barrage of ground strikes that forced the referee to dive in and save Jackson from further punishment. In just his second UFC fight, Ilia Topuria had scored a knockdown so brutal, so emphatic, that it sent shockwaves through the featherweight division. The message was clear. A new predator had entered the food chain, and he was hungry for more. But if you think this was the peak of Topuria's destructive power, hold on to your seats, because the best, or should we say the most brutal, is yet to come. Ilia Topuria versus Ryan Hall at Next up, we have the fight that showcased Topuria's heart as much as his power, his bout against Jai Herbert. Moving up to the lightweight on short notice, Topuria was facing a bigger man with a dangerous striking game. And for a moment, Topuria was in serious danger that night.
To know, Jai's tall, Jai's longer, 8-inch reach advantage, and he has the speed advantage. He's got to be careful here. Could have made a mistake.
That was huge. How tough is Topuria?
In the first round, Herbert caught Topuria with a head kick that had him falling like a redwood. Topuria hit the canvas, and for a split second, it seemed he was knocked out. But he wasn't. He quickly gathered his senses and grabbed Herbert's leg to counter the attack. But if you thought Topuria was done, you clearly haven't been paying attention. He not only survived the round, but came back in the second with the kind of vengeance usually reserved for action movie sequels. Backing Herbert against the cage, Topuria unleashed a combination that was part sweet science, part street fight. Both made a series of a few punches, but Topuria, being the beast he is, found the gap as he saw Herbert's left hand a bit low. He landed a right hand straight to his cheek. Herbert was out before he hit the canvas, and Topuria walked off like a hitman who just completed the job. It was a comeback KO that matched the aura of a Corrales versus Castillo type fight, once again putting his opponent to sleep.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Look at this jab. Right hand misses to the body, just like his fight against Damon Jackson, and the right hand over the top.
February 17th, 2024, UFC 298, the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. The stage was set for what many considered a changing of the guard. In one corner, the longtime featherweight king, Alexander the Great Volkanovski. In the other, the undefeated challenger, Ilia El Matador Topuria. Volkanovski, with his impeccable record and 5 title defenses, was the betting favorite, but those who'd been paying attention knew that Topuria was no ordinary challenger. But round 1 was a chess match. Volkanovski, ever the tactician, tried to establish his jab and leg kicks. Topuria, like a patient spider, waited for his openings. The exchanges were brief but violent, each man looking to assert dominance. But it was in round 2 that Topuria showed why he'd earned the nickname El Matador. As Volkanovski came in with a combination, Topuria moved forward with a body punch, then a left and right punch that almost missed. But then he countered with a right hand right on the chin that could have stopped the charging bull. That punch landed flush, and Volkanovski, for the first time in his UFC career, looked mortal. He stumbled, and Topuria, smelling blood, unleashed a combination that will be replayed for years to come. The arena erupted as Volkanovski fell to the canvas, uncautious before he even landed. Topuria stood over his fallen foe, arms raised, the new king of the featherweight division. In just 2 rounds, he'd done what many thought was impossible. He'd not only beaten Volkanovski, but knocked him out cold. As Bruce Buffer announced Ilia Topuria as the new UFC featherweight champion, the crowd couldn't believe it. Topuria, with his powerful punches and incredible skill, didn't just win the fight. He made a statement. He had promised to become the champion, and now he had done it. Ilia Topuria's journey from a promising fighter to an undisputed champion is nothing short of amazing. Known for his exciting fighting style and knockout power, he has quickly become one of the most thrilling fighters in the UFC. And what's even more impressive, he's only 27 years old, which means he has many more years ahead of him to dominate the division. With potential big fights on the horizon and other top fighters looking to take him on, the future is bright for Topuria. One thing is for sure, El Matador is just getting started, and his reign as champion promises to be full of excitement and unforgettable moments for UFC fans everywhere. So what do you think? Which was the best and most devastating right hand among all these? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.